All right, all right, all right. Uh, well, welcome everybody to the second edition of Sewer Rot Radio, uh, episode number 2. My camera's glitching out a little bit, but welcome everybody in the chat. As usual, this is Frank from Sewer Rot Records. How you guys doing? Happy Thursday evening, and we got my partner in crime here, Andrew. You want to say what's up? Oh, Andrew's not here. All right. Well, anyways, I'll talk. Well, he's not here, but he'll be here shortly. But let's. Who we got in the chat? What's up, Pete? What's up, Pete? Saying.
Yeah. You got me muted though.
Oh, I got you muted. Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. I had him muted on chat. But
I was trying to tell you that.
All right, what's up? What's up? Hold on, before we get to Andrew, let's shout out some of the audience here. What's up to Pete, who says Hail Stan, the greatest. Yes, Vulgar Display Gaming. What up, brother? And we got Awaken the Guardian. Welcome. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with you, but welcome. And he says ooh. So, what do you got? Wait, what do you got to say about that, Andrew?
I actually, one of the episodes I wanted to do was just the ooh, like every like great ooh in every kind of metal.
I mean,
try to get them all.
I mean, let's just.
Okay, hold on. Actually,
it's gonna be a topic for an episode, bro.
Yeah, that is literally my single favorite thing about metal music. Is the ooh.
Hey, just real quick.
That's my favorite thing about metal.
Real quick, do you do those? I'm pretty sure you do them, right?
Yeah.
Like in your own.
Every band I'm in, I do the oohs.
Oh, I think like literally every Soul Devourment song has this.
You have to.
And
we got Chris Marsh in the chat. What's up, Chris?
What's
Chris
up,
is my
Chris?
coworker.
Oh, what's up, Chris? Chris Marsh, welcome back. He said keep Andrew muted.
No. No, this is a different coworker. He doesn't know shit about metal though. Chris, you know what a ooh is? Do you know what we're even talking about?
Does he know what a ooh is? Well, I mean, let's describe it. Well, first off, hold on. Pete is already saying, and I agree with him, that the greatest ooh is Tom Moyer. Like
that's like the original.
He's the OG, right?
Okay, can we get anything that we picked today? Does it have an ooh in it?
Oh, dude, this is all over. Convulse does it all the time.
I don't know if I can't place any of them. So, but yeah, so Chris, the ooh is maybe the single most important thing a heavy metal vocalist can do. Don't disagree with me because you're wrong. Okay, so there's gonna be a part where you might have a fast riff. It's got a blast beat. And then there'll be a stop, and then like a slower riff will come in. There's usually a drum roll like and right before that mid-tempo chug riff comes in, the vocalist goes, "Oh."
Hold on, let me pull one up. Hold on, I got one.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a couple in mind too.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Let me play one here. Here. Give me a second here, Andrew. I'm going to play.
Okay, just so this is strictly for Chris Marsh.
Hold on. This is actually one of mine, because I know where it's at, the placement.
Okay.
Here it comes. I don't know if you heard that. I don't know if you caught that. But that's an example of one that I do. And I definitely got that from Celtic Frost. I mean, I'll let you play it out. And now the purpose of this is obviously to accentuate what comes next, right, Andrew?
is to cue the slower riff. It doesn't have to be a slow riff, but it should be.
Yeah.
It's got to be like you go like blast beats, tremolos, da 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 da, ooh, dun, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's fucking English or what, but
no. It makes sense. I mean, if you listen to death metal, you're speaking our language here.
I'm trying to explain it to Chris though, because he won't understand what the fuck I'm saying.
But it's not always for a slow riff. Sometimes it's for faster ones, like this one. I'll replay it for you, Chris, so you can hear it. But here you go. Here I'm playing it now. He says, "I've heard a metal song," but hold on, like
he's not heard a ooh. He's not heard a proper ooh. Chris, have you heard a proper ooh though? We even have a spelling. It's OUGH.
Yeah,
it's
sometimes
got its own. They call that what, an onomatopoeia, right?
And sometimes it's got the umlaut, right? It's got the German umlaut on there.
That's just for fun.
I mean, that's the correct canon spelling.
Adversion. Okay, so Adversion is Pete Niceman, for the people who don't know, and yeah, there's some great oohs in Adversion for sure. I definitely snuck quite a few in there. It was mandatory.
Yeah, and like he says, maybe I need to study oof more. Now, not to be confused with oomph, okay, which is another.
That's different.
That's another thing, and that's more of like the black thrash realm, right? But that's a conversation.
And then you got the blegs. Let's spell these out for people.
If you want to throw
bleg is different. You can put the blah in the same place as the ooh if you want.
Yes, you can.
That it should be thrash. It should be black metal. Rarely does the death metal do the blah, but it goes in the same spot.
And it's not to be confused with the right? Shouts out to Jordan from Oxygen Destroyer. He does this a lot, and it comes out really well. He's one of my favorite guys that does that quite often.
He's got a name for it. Did you know that?
Oh, really? What does he call it?
Yeah, he calls it the Gauss.
Oh, that is so Jordan. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Jordan wherever you are. I miss you, Jordan. I miss you a lot.
Gauss is the enemy of Gamera for people who aren't fucking nerds.
He's some kaiju nerdum there.
Yeah.
But back to Finnish death metal. We're gonna get
the cream of the crop, man.
We're gonna get into it. A lot of good shit. You guys can enjoy now. Abhorrence with Caught in a Vortex.
Oh, let me set this up real quick for a second.
Go ahead.
This is, I think, the single. Like if an alien came down, which by the way we fucking had aliens disclosed today, which was wild. But if aliens came down and they were like, Andrew MV, please play me the single Finnish death metal track, this would be it. I think this encompasses Finnish death metal perfectly. It's got the crawl. Like Finnish death metal should have a crawl to it. It should be reverb drenched. It should sound like I'm in a cave and I'm about to die. And that's what Caught in a Vortex is. This is my single favorite Finnish death metal track of all time.
Fucking great introduction. And we're going to take a music break and we're going to listen to some Abhorrence. So one more time, Caught in a Vortex, Abhorrence. All right, well, we're back. Uh, so we last heard Galvanizer. You heard that band before, Andrew?
I don't think I actually have.
Galvanizer fucking rules, man. They're really good. They're young guys. Uh, Pete saying the snare, dude. The snare is fucking nasty. It's old school, man. That band is really good. Um, they're young. They're out of Finland. I can't remember what label they're on. Pete, you might know anything about that.
Extremely Rotten.
Well, there you go. Extremely Rotten, holding it down, right? So
I think they're not from Finland. They're from Denmark.
Yeah, it's in Denmark. Shouts out to Extremely
They're
Rotten.
a distro partner of ours, aren't they?
They are, actually. You can get some Sewer Rot Records releases out there in Denmark at that store. And happy partnership with them, reminds us that death metal is a worldwide community, not just online, not just
you should flash our distro network on the screen at some point too, because we got a killer distro network. Shout out to all the labels that carry Sewer Rot stuff and circulating around the globe.
Yeah, I gotta find it, but yeah, we do have a network of distro. I can while I'm shouting out some people right now, shouts out to Hong Kong Records out in China. We just collaborated on the intestine ballism, and shouts out to Tian. Much love out there. We're gonna do next week, why don't we do a intestine ballism highlight? Let's talk about intestine ballism. Yeah. Let's focus on them next
top
week.
3.
Yeah.
We could do a Japan episode.
No, that's a separate topic. I want to talk about intestine ballism specifically.
All right. Yeah, they're like top 3 favorite bands for me. So
yeah, I mean, let's do Japanese death metal, but let's highlight. Let's highlight that intestine ballism release. Of course. Shouts out to them. Let's see, who else can I think of? Shouts out to
Frank.
What's up?
If somebody's in Japan, where can they buy Sewer Rot
Records? I was about to say that right now. Shouts out to Tanaka Shoten. Shouts out to Tanaka-san. He's you guys might know him as the drummer and vocalist of Anatomia. It's Anatomia, by the way, guys, not Anatomia. Anatomia. Shouts out to him. Shouts out to let's see, where else? Disc Union. You guys can get our releases over at Disc Union. You can
maybe the best record store in Japan.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah,
they have a location in Tokyo, right?
They got one in Tokyo. They got one.
Is that the one?
They got one in Nagoya. They got one in Osaka. They got one everywhere.
That's the one where every floor is a different genre, right?
Yes, and they do have a specialized heavy metal store.
Yeah, I've been there. That place is sick.
Yeah, it's really cool. Also, shouts out to SA Music out in Osaka. You can also get Sewer Rot record stuff there. And Awesome Mosh Power out they're somewhere out in, I want to say Sendai? I can't remember exactly where they're at. Shouts out to them as well. Also, you can get our stuff out in Taiwan. Bad Moon Rising, they have some stuff out in Taipei. I'm trying to think who else carries some of our stuff out in Asia. There's quite a few partners we got.
What about Finland?
You know what's funny is in Finland,
I don't. Distro we got in Finland.
It would be extremely rotten.
Yeah,
and actually,
some of those countries you kind of like.
Mesako Noho
drive to like.
Yeah, you gotta drive. Yeah, Mesako Noho Records out. I think he's out in. I think he lives in Britain. I'm not sure, but he's got a web store. You guys all know. You guys know these places. You guys are fiends. You guys know what's up. But yeah, shouts out. to these partners in the worldwide death metal community. Yeah, that was our plug. But let's talk about a little bit about the. Yes, Extremely Rotten is in Denmark, Tyler. Welcome, by the way, Tyler. Nice to see you. Let's talk a little bit about this next band, Rippikoulu. Rippikoulu. What do you think of them, Andrew?
I think they're arguably the best death doom band. They don't sound super Finnish, and that's okay. But definitely, like, if you're gonna go pure death doom, you've got three choices: Rippikoulu, Coffins, and Cyanide. If you want just like doom heavy, doom first, death metal later, those would be like the playlist I'd give you.
Yeah, and that first that record, Musta Ceremonia, it fucking hits like a truck, man. Like that is a record that you can, I want to say death metal doesn't often capture the idea of ambience, right? Like death metal is death metal, right? But some bands are able to capture it, and this band definitely is able to capture that feeling. You will get lost in the track. You will get lost in what's going on. It's a nice listen. Just curious, when did you first hear Rippikoulu, Andrew?
I was like 18.
Oh wow, you got him young. You got into that young.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely like, well, because Finnish death metal is my favorite death metal. If anybody fucks with Coagulate, they can probably guess that much. But so yeah, I did a deep dive on Finland is Grimland like right away. Pertinence, Sentenced, Demolish, all the shit that we're gonna play today was like, yeah, one of my first deep dives. After I did like Death and Autopsy and whatever, the basics, but that was like my first like, whoa, this shit sounds way different. Like, what is going on in this fucking country? And then I dove into it. But also bands that were more modern than like Funebrarum, which I wish we had played. They're not from Finland, but they capture the sound perfectly.
We can talk about that band another day. That's another good band to talk about.
Yeah, but they're definitely, I mean, like, the dude, speaking of abhorrence, they have a track called Adoration of Abscess Cadavers, which was originally the name of a abhorrence track that hopefully I'm getting this right, that never got released, and they had the abhorrence guy write the lyrics for it. So that's
a fun fact. Oh, that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah. So like they've had those guys write lyrics for Funebrarum tracks. Those guys are connected with the Finland underground for sure.
Yeah. Oh well, thanks for adding that. You learn something new every day, right, guys? So let's get into it. Let's listen, cause this Rippikoulu it's long. So, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this track. It's called Kadon. Dude, I'm pronouncing it. I'm not gonna try, bro. I speak.
I wasn't gonna do it.
I'm not gonna try. You know why? Because the pronunciation I'm doing is English, right? And I have no fucking idea. But here you go.
Finnish is a hard language.
Finnish is a fucking hard language. So here we go. Rippikoulu, all in your face. Here we go. Let's enjoy some. All right. We're back, and you just heard some Rippy Kolu, absolutely crushing band. I can't get enough of that band. It's easy to get lost in all the riffs that band is just like hitting us with. Uh, let's see. Somebody in the chat, Chris Mar said, "Is Usher metal?" I mean, Usher is definitely not metal, but
I don't know, man.
Usher's definitely not metal. But that is going to bring us to an interesting topic. We wanted to kind of take a break from the Finnish stuff. Let's talk about like glam hair metal. Like, what do you guys think? Glam hair metal, is it cool? I'm all about it, bro. I love glam. I love hair metal.
All right, when I was like 11 years old, that was like my fucking life was glam, dude. My first concert ever, Poison and Cinderella. That was my shit.
Hey, no way! Is that for real?
Yeah, for real. That was my first ever concert. And I was like maybe like 12, 13.
Dude.
And, it was bad. Well, they were like old though, so at that point. So
that's pretty sick though.
It wasn't. It was kind of cool, but then I was like, man, glam sucks. Whatever, listening to like thrash and grind and fucking whatever. And but yeah, now that I'm like in my mid-30s, like glam is pretty sick actually. I'm about the glam life. I'm selective though. I would say. Does loudness count as glam? They're more like straight heavy metal.
Well, that brings us to the topic. Is that glam and heavy metal? The lines are very blurred. Are they not? Are they not?
They are, because loudness looks like a glam band, but they play they play straight heavy metal. But they're awesome, dude. Like Loudness is one of my favorite bands ever.
Rat fucking rules. Rat is sick.
Rat is fucking cool.
I'm not gonna lie. I like some White Lion songs.
Dude, I used to love White Lion. I met a girl. Oh, dude, this is so embarrassing. I can't believe I'm admitting this, but I met a girl at the Poison Cinderella show, and I was like a 13-year-old would be crazy about a girl. And she I don't know, she broke up with me. Whatever you do when you're 13. And I remember blasting that White Lion, all bummed out. Those sad fucking glam songs and shit. As a little 13-year-old Andrew MV, but White Lion kind of bangs, yeah, dude.
White Lion,
Skid Row, yeah,
dude, right. Skid Row. All right, well, Noah Rotter said Skid Row. Dude,
they're actually straight up. I never thought Skid Row was bad.
Dude,
this whole time, they're good.
I'm sorry, but every time 18 and Life comes on, dude, that song slaps, bro. That song slaps. 18
You'll be
in
shot
life,
if you don't sing
got it. 18 in life, you know. Dude, that song rules, man. It's a good song.
What else? I like. Okay, Stryper is one of those bands that you like when you're 12, and then you hate as a teenager into your 20s, and then when you're in your 30s, you're like, yo, this band actually fucking rips.
Oh, Whitesnake! They're bringing up Whitesnake in the chat. Whitesnake rules too, man.
Whitesnake is okay. Who is the shredder from Whitesnake? Who's their lead guitarist? Because he went on to be in Dio.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, I forget his fucking name.
Did a lot better in Dio.
Craig.
Is it Craig Goldie? Maybe
I can't remember his name, but yes, I can. I do know that he later went on for Dio. But Stryper is fun. Yeah, Stryper's fun. Absolutely.
I've been saying Stryper, bro.
Yeah, I heard you. I needed to get to that. It's just somebody said it. One thing at a time. But yeah, Stryper is absolutely amazing. I think they fucking rip. To hell with the devil, man.
Soldiers Under God's Command. All their lyrics are so fucking corny, dude, and their whole shtick is unbelievably outrageous.
It's ridiculous, but it's so fucking cool at some point.
Dude, it's so dumb. And they deserve to be hated for that. But in terms of the actual music itself, like, dude, we should play that. This has fuck all to do with Finnish death metal, but we should play that opening riff to Soldiers Under God's Command, because that riff is like one of the best heavy metal riffs of all.
Hold on. I'll just play it right now. That riff does fucking rule.
Go ahead.
Hold on. That song fucking slaps. Here we go. All right. We can't. Dude, the song slaps. The whole thing slaps. Honestly, bro, they kind of rip. They kind of rip, bro. Like straight up.
Okay, so for Chris here, who's not a heavy metal guy, he's just my buddy here. Can we get a picture of Striper? Like, find the stupidest picture of Striper.
All right, hold on.
There's just some necessary context here.
Hold on. Oh, while I'm pulling up Striper, somebody said Dokken rocks. I'm gonna play Dokken. I'm gonna Breaking the Chains. That song rules.
Dream Warriors. I mean, I have a full Nightmare on Elm Street sleeve here. So we were gonna do a glam episode, but that I guess that's what this is turning into, Chris. To be honest,
we gotta do a glam episode another day. First, we're gonna put up Striper.
Striper, and we'll move on. We gotta see what these fuckers look like.
I gotta pull up the one with the hazard stripes.
The bass player looks like Ted. The bass player looks like Ted Cruz.
He fucking does.
Yeah.
He fucking does.
Yeah. Carl Willis, man. I got a full sleeve of Nightmare on Elm Street, so I fuck with that shit. What's his name? Is this Tyler? I don't want to keep calling him fucking Carl Willis.
It's Tyler. Yeah, it's Tyler.
Okay. Okay.
Look at that. That's, oh my god. Look at Striper, bro. Yo.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Yo, is Striper, are they Iron Warriors, bro? 40k Iron Warriors? Tyler, what do you think? Iron within, iron without, brother.
Could you imagine, like, asking to be taken seriously at all looking like that? Okay, that guy in the middle on the top, that is Ted Cruz.
Hey, this dude right here at the bottom, I mean, he's giving me some Kirk Hammett vibes. I don't know about you.
I feel like all four of these men might want to, like, hit on me in a bar. And
bro, the chest hair, bro. The chest hair.
And I might do it, too, though.
Bro, my man on the left has a fucking Ferrari, fucking, like, GT era, like, race suit on. Dude, that thing is awesome. Look at that.
Okay, so you know my signature guitar in Coagulate, the Washburn that was blood splatter?
Yeah.
I've got another one of those, actually, that is, like, it's, like, kind of a rising sun, like, Japan flag, but it's
really?
yellow. It's yellow and black, though. It's like a Striper guitar. I only have the body. I need to, like, actually build it out, but it's like a Striper yellow and black attack. I've never seen another picture of one of them painted like that.
That's fucking awesome. Just real quick, I just want to provide some context. We were saying Striper looks like Iron Warriors from Warhammer. Let me provide some context as to what we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
I'll show you. Let's talk a little bit about Dokken. I think Dokken is underrated, bro. I honestly think in the glam conversation.
Yeah, Dokken. I mean, their best song is Dream Warriors.
Absolutely,
that song fucking like rips. That's a big part. Like, okay, so Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is maybe my favorite movie of all time. And I think that Dokken track, even though it's not actually in the movie itself, is part of what makes the movie great. Have you ever seen that? You seen any of the Nightmare on Elm Streets?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that Dokken, and the music video is awesome. Where like Dokken's running around with Freddy Krueger, like they're on the set. Like they filmed the music video as they were filming the movie, and just like entered the same sets, and they reshot scenes that actually happened in the movie, but instead of like Freddy attacking, it's Dokken attacking. It's a great music video.
That stuff.
And it looks like it's on 35 millimeter. It looks like part of the movie. It's the same like film grain as the movie itself. It's fucking awesome.
That stuff is like
Yo, you got some lore down here.
What's going on
about Dokken?
What are they saying? Hold on, let me see.
Did they get high though?
My uncle used to party with him back in the day. Pictures of my uncle with the 80s hair is hilarious. They all grew up down in the beach area. Yeah, tell us something. I want to hear something.
Okay. Because I heard that there was a picture taken of, I don't remember what his name is, but the lead singer of Dokken smoking a cigar. And like Christians got really mad about this.
Dokken?
This was this was like 15 years ago or something.
For smoking a cigar?
Yeah, they thought it was like unchristian behavior or some shit like that.
Of Dokken? Are you talking Dokken or Striper?
Oh, Striper Dokken. Dokken would do fucking lines of coke off Freddy Krueger's glove.
I was gonna say. Like, something tells me Dokken does not care.
Yeah. There was a news story that Robert Englund and Freddy Krueger was doing. They would all do coke off the knife glove that Freddy Krueger is rocking.
No shit.
I would love to be in. I'd love to be in that room on the set of Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Just watching
5 guys doing coke like that. That would be wild.
That's hilarious, dude. It's so funny. This chat gets lore. Religious people are the most. I mean, obviously, yeah.
Okay, so vulgar display of gaming partied with Dokken. That makes a little more sense. I thought he meant Striper.
Well, his uncle did.
His uncle did, yeah.
All right. Check this out.
Man, should we talk about...
Hold on.
Death metal or what?
Hold on. What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
That's some Dokken action for sure. I keep mixing these bands up.
Striper.
Some Striper action.
Is Striper part of the 40K universe, guys? Are they Iron Warriors, bro? I mean, it looks just like it, right? Unmistakable. I did coke. Yeah, glam within, glam without, right?
I've seen that bumper sticker, man. I should get one of those.
Is that a real thing?
It's a real thing,
dude. I want one. What the fuck?
Yeah, because that was like a big like metal news story where they all admitted to doing coke off Freddy's glove on the set of Dream Warriors.
That's so funny, man.
The fact that I'm looking at Striper in front of my face, it keeps confusing me. But those guys, I don't think they ever did any drugs. I don't think they even smoked or anything.
Anyways, back to Finnish Death Metal. Jeez. Back to Finnish Death Metal. Andrew, let's pivot here to Demolik. That's
a big pivot.
That's a big pivot. Let's pivot to Demolik. I think Demolik is like straight up like your favorite band, isn't it?
Yeah, if not my favorite band, certainly like my biggest like musical influence. I would say they're not my favorite band. Nespeth is my favorite album, though.
I mean, that fucking album slaps. Like,
yeah, Christ is the best drug of all.
The hallucinogens.
Yeah,
of Christ.
And that Nespeth, the spine backwards. Yeah, that album is probably the greatest album of all time in my life.
I know.
I made a career of ripping off that album. So
I want to say Demilich gets a lot of shit, but from people like for the vocals, which I don't understand. Really? Yeah, bro. A lot of people have some strong feelings about Demilich's vocals.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste, maybe if you're new to death metal, but the way I see it is like nobody can sound like that. Like nobody can copy that vocal style.
No, absolutely not. And not only that, but it just sounds fucking sick. I mean, it just sounds death metal, you know. As Tyler is saying, frog vocals. I've heard that a lot in relation
they are
to
the frog vocals.
Yeah. Regardless, it's still fucking awesome, right? Mm-hmm. But we're gonna get into Demilich. Let me see here.
Yeah, rip it, man.
We're gonna
play anything off that record.
You know, Demilich's got awesome fucking song titles. So we're gonna get into Demilich, the putrefying road in the 19th extremity, somewhere inside the bowels of endlessness. Before we start,
it's my daily life, man.
Before we start that, Andrew, you got anything to say?
No. Enjoy the greatest death metal album of all time, in my opinion.
All right, here we go, guys. Enjoy. All right. That fucking song fucking slaps, dude. That band rules. Zizma.
Yeah,
Zizma.
wild career trajectory that band took. They became less and less death metal, and yeah, ended up just kind of becoming like an alt rock band with no death metal. Even though their name literally translates to shredded anal tissue, that's the medical what Zizma actually is. And then they started doing Beach Boys covers and like not playing, like they really distanced themselves from death metal at the end,
Right.
and kept the name weirdly enough, which is hilarious
Which
to
is
me.
fucking awesome, but still.
Yeah, like they were like they would openly be like, no, we don't like talk about our death metal stuff. We don't do that. We're not that kind of band anymore. But they
Yeah.
kept that name.
Regardless, though, they're still a very unique band in all their eras. Even I think the later stuff that you're talking about, it's still pretty unique. Um, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got some talk about. Uh, Noah says everything in this album is perfect. The burps, the groove, big technical bits. He's talking about, of course, Demolic. That record is definitely a top five, like death metal record for me, start to finish. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, that's my favorite album of all time. So
It just like you said something earlier, like it doesn't sound like very complicated, but
some parts
actually,
of it are.
there's a lot going on.
No, there's definitely like they do like I call them runs. Like they do these runs and they're in like fucking like 17/4 time, and that shit is fucking like insane. But then there are these moments where there's like a harmonizing like rhythm gets lead and a harmonizing bass, and they're all playing different things, and all three of those things are simple. And together they like the album never sounds not complicated, but there
Oh,
are those moments that are just like but yeah, when they do those I call them Demolich runs, where they'll just do this crazy fucking lick that's like a riff that's just insane. Like, how did you even think about that?
and that's part of the
That shit
reason
is wild. I
why.
actually
Uh huh.
I read an interview with damn, I'm blanking on his name. Who's the main dude from Demolich?
Talking about the vocalist,
Auntie.
Auntie.
Auntie
Yeah,
Bowman.
Auntie Bowman. Yeah.
Yeah, and he like you know Coagulate was like so inspired by that band, and like I jokingly say I ripped them off. I tried not to, but it's hard to hide the influence. But he's also like I'm self-taught, he's self-taught. He I was really happy to learn that he writes in shapes. Do you understand that?
No, you want to explain
Like
that?
yeah, because that's how I write too, and that's specifically, and I never knew this until later, after Coagulate was done. But yeah, he writes in shapes. So like when I sit there and I try to write something weird, I think of the shape that the notes on the fretboard are making with my fingers,
Oh,
and it's just
interesting.
and that's how I've always written
That's really
that
interesting.
type of music.
That's
I
interesting.
don't know scales or chords. I don't know shit about
So like,
the
real
different chords.
quick, because not everybody plays guitar and stuff. Can you
It's
give me
hard
an
to explain.
example of a shape that you're talking about? Like, are we talking like triangle? Like what kind of shapes are we
Yeah, it would
talking here?
be like triangles. Yeah, I guess it would be really difficult. Like if I had a guitar in front of me, maybe I could explain it. But yeah, it's just things that yeah, I've heard of shapes. Yeah, that's a funny comment.
now, now,
I've heard of that shit.
now, when you say that, it's kind of interesting because I also write in like, I mean, I don't really write in shapes, but I write in uh, like stairs. That's what I want to say. Stairs.
Yeah, like if the shape of the chord structure is like really fucked up, then like sometimes I'd move things over a fret to make it sound weirder and make the shape look stranger that my
I totally get
fingers were
that.
making.
I totally get that. Like when I write some of this stuff,
I'm a very visual person. Like,
no, I mean that makes sense. Like when I write with Anthony, Soul Devourment stuff, I think of stuff as like a ladder. I'm going up the ladder, now I'm going down the ladder, I'm going up the steps, I'm going around. Like, does that make sense? Like, yeah.
so like for example, we had a track called Protoplasmic Ensnarement, and there's a part of the song where the lyrics are talking about protoplasmic tendrils like crawling across a floor. And so I wrote the riff to climb up the fretboard.
Oh, that's very
and,
cool.
Like, go in and out and up. Like that's how I wrote Coagulate stuff. Is I wrote it to be doing what the pictures in my head were doing.
No, that's very cool. I mean, it's conceptually like it fits, right? Mm-hmm. Tyler says he writes in top ramen flavors. I don't know what that means. No. I don't know what that means and what that looks like. Also, you want to talk about top ramen flavors? Let's just stick to like Maruchan and stuff. The shrimp one is easily the worst. You guys know that, right? We all agree.
Oh God, I would never. I mean, I don't eat meat, but Oriental is the way to go for me. That's the only one that's vegetarian.
The shrimp one is easily the worst. Like, you know, I did
eat meat. You could be okay with the beef or the chicken flavor. Those are fine.
You know, I went to the Mecca. I went to Japan. I went to the Mecca of top ramen, and shrimp is always the worst. It's by far the worst. By the way, the curry flavor is really good, especially when you get the soup.
Tell me this. For those, Frank and I have been to Japan. Frank's been to Japan many times. His family in Japan and whatnot. But what is with Japan and having curry all the time? Like they're such an isolationist country historically. Why is curry such a regular part of their diet?
The funny thing about this is like Japanese curry and actual like Indian curry. It's so different in texture and flavor.
They do have some Indian restaurants there.
Oh, they do. They absolutely do. But it came because the British during the Meiji era brought it over. Especially the sailors. The sailors would eat curry, so it was brought over.
Cool.
So it's kind of funny because like the British like brought it over. It's like not even their shit.
Yeah, that is interesting. So Japan, when did they stop becoming isolationist?
That would be the Sankaku, or the isolation period. I mean that was during the Edo period, right? Hold on. Before I get into that, Oriental's amazing. Shrimp is awful. Been on a spicy bulldog kick as of late. I like bulldog. I mean, I don't want to get into like this, but culturally, what like, you guys are from Minnesota, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but we have there's Asian grocery stores everywhere because of the Hmong population. So we get a lot of Korean and Thai. Yeah. I mean, dude, there's a huge Asian population here, and at least in the cities. So there's Asian groceries everywhere, but we don't really get like Japanese or Chinese or sometimes we get Korean ramen, but it's usually like Thai or Laotian or like Southeast Asian. Like we'll get Malaysian ramen brands and stuff like shit that like you probably might not have ever even seen, but that's what's commonly stocked.
Okay, well, that's cool. Okay. Well, back to your question. The Sankaku period, not the Sankaku, the Sakoku period. Sorry, Sankaku is something different. Sankaku means like triangle. Sakoku.
Speaking of shapes.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, Sankaku is a triangle. Sankoku. It ended in 1868, I want to say, in the Bakumatsu period, where like the shogunate was finally brought down, and they opened up. I'm not sure if you guys remember this part of history in class, but like Commodore Perry, if you guys remember the Perry expedition out in Asia, yeah, the U.S. like forced Japan to open to trade by like gunboat diplomacy, basically, and Japan realized, oh, we need to modernize and change, and the whole society opened up, and a lot of good food and culture and stuff came out of it. So, yeah, that's that. I hope that answers your question, Ed. Sorry, don't get me started on this. Don't get me down these tangents.
Maybe a dangerous question, yeah.
Yeah, it's not dangerous in the form that I don't want to talk about it. It's just I love history, and history is my passion. It's my profession, right? So, like, I don't want to get into that. But that's how curry was introduced to Japan, and spicy curry in Japan is interesting because like I don't think it's spicy at all, but my Japanese friends and my associates, they all think that it's so spicy. But yeah, culturally things are different. Which brings me
Bulldog,
to
though.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's supposed to be like violently spicy.
Now let's talk about Bulldog. Now the thing about Bulldog is that it's not Japanese. You guys know it's Korean. Right.
Yeah, it's Korean.
And Koreans culturally eat some spicy food. Like being Latin American, like spicy food is in our culture. Tyler, who's also Latin American, you know, like we've been growing up eating this spicy food. But Koreans, they're up there, man. They're up there with that spicy food. But I still will say right now that Indian curry, actual Indian curry, nuclear level, bro. It's in your intestines, okay? Like,
you can't go. I made this mistake once. I was really fucking stoned too, and I went to an Indian restaurant. You can't ask for a non-spicy dish to become spicy, because they take that as a personal challenge. Like
they absolutely do.
Your life.
They absolutely do, and they want to watch you squirm. I know they do.
Yeah, they'll waste the food. They don't even care. And then the guy will come to you and he'll be like, "Oh, are you okay? Do you need me to take it back?" Because they want you to say no, and they want to watch you continue to struggle.
Yes.
But I made that mistake once. Now, like, I like spicy food, man. I like a little kick. I don't like to have a bad time eating. Like, I want eating to be an experience. I don't want it to be unpleasant and uncomfortable. It doesn't need to be a challenge. Like, you can give me a little kick, a little heat. But so I always order, like, if you're getting Indian food, like legit Indian food, Indian restaurant, like sometimes medium will kick your ass. You know, like, it depends on the restaurant. I always go like mild plus, and then I work my way up the next time I order.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, this has a lot to do with Finnish death metal, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. Yeah.
I mean, this is the point of the stream, man. This is the point of the radio show. We're talking about important topics and also listening to death metal, right?
For years, here's some context too. Is like, Frank and I, we around the pandemic, 2020 is when we started talking, and when I joined Sewer Rock, kind of when Sewer Rock got started, and we used to talk on the phone for like 2-3 hours every day. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember it. I was fucking randomly talking about Warhammer.
We have great conversations. Let's just stream our conversations and play some fucking death metal in between.
Yeah, and, that's how it turned out, right? Dude, do you remember when I used to randomly talk your ear off about Warhammer lore, and like to this day you still haven't played it? This motherfucker, man.
You kept me up till like 4 in the morning talking about Warhammer.
Dude, why were you listening to me, bro? Why didn't you just say, "Hey, bro, I gotta go"?
It's too polite, man.
Dude,
that Minnesota nice that they talk about.
Yeah, guys, I know for a fact that I hit him with this. Oh, so a long time ago, the Emperor of Mankind united humanity. I know I started off with that shit. Then before you know it, I'm talking to him about chaos demons and primarchs.
I used to post on my Facebook every time you do that, because you don't have Facebook and I can talk shit, and I would say like, it's 4 a.m. Frank from Soul the Varmint has been talking to me about Warhammer for 3.5 hours. No clue what he's talking about. I have not understood a word of this.
The funny thing about all this shit is like you don't even know, like, not even.
No, I have no clue.
Not even like 10% of the lore. All those hours.
Not even like 1%. I know that there's guys, like big blue guys with big armor. That's all I know.
Oh shit! He's talking about the Ultramarines, guys. He's talking.
yeah. Ultramarines.
Oh
there's
my
good
god!
Guys and there's bad guys.
Well, there are no there. Oh wait, hold on. The chat's gonna fucking kill you for that. There are no good guys in Warhammer.
Okay, there's no good guys, just bad guys. Some of them worship chaos, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
That's it. That's all I know. And people paint the figures, but they don't actually play the game.
Oh, dude, that's like dime a dozen. Those guys right there.
Yeah.
Or the guys that know everything about lore but don't have any figures. Those guys also exist.
We had a Games Workshop in my hometown that I would go and I'd hang out there and I would paint the figure. I was a little kid. I was like, I don't know, 11 or 12 or something. And my brother was into Warhammer, so I had some of his figures when he lost interest, and I would just like paint them and fuck around. But I'd hang out there and I'd paint with those guys. And I remember this guy like talked shit about Silver Surfer forever.
The Silver Surfer?
Core childhood memory. Because Silver Surfer random. And Ghost Rider are both the coolest and lamest Marvel characters ever.
The Silver...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you.
When you think about it, it's actually the dumbest idea ever. The Silver Surfer. But in the comics, he's like this crazy, like, cosmic... And I've never read the Silver Surfer, but yeah, he's like this crazy cosmic fucking, like, the concept is like outrageously intense and detailed, but it's actually just a silver guy on a surfboard, and that's pretty dumb. And they made the most important guy in the whole Marvel comics like maybe the goofiest idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Finnish Death Metal.
Yeah, Finnish Death Metal. Fucking Tyler's talking about 90s 40K figures. Check this out, bro. Look at this right here. Look at this. That's old school right there, dude.
Yeah, this would have been probably not quite the 90s, but this would have been the early 2000s that I was hanging out in the Games Workshop in my hometown.
Look at that, dude. These guys still have the middle clip for the base. You know the little clip that I'm talking about? And they were snap-ons. None of these were glued. They were all snap-ons. I'm sure you guys remember this era. Yeah, got the old school Warhammer logo as well. Look at that. You know, back then, Andrew, Warhammer has a tagline, and that is, "In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war," right? That's like the tagline. Back then, it was actually, "In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, there is only war." But because this shit's been going on so many fucking years, they keep having to change it.
Is our audience plummeting by now?
No, bro, it actually got higher. Somebody said, "I know nothing of Warhammer outside of Bolthor, but I wish I did." I mean, Warhammer fucking rules, man. It just goes hand in hand. But yeah, this shit's been going
I
on for
remember
so long.
Kyle from Sewer Rot. He does our graphics and all sorts of stuff. He does a lot for us. But he also runs our social media too. So if you message us, you're probably getting Kyle. But he hit me up one day and he's like, "Hey, so we role playing games is fucking huge in Minneapolis. There's almost nobody who does not play D&D here. This is a very nerd city, but we have tons of these game stores, and one of them has like every Warhammer book ever. Like it's like
Oh
a
wow,
whole wall of the store, and like Kyle messaged me and he's like, "Hey, this shop by your house is the only place in the U.S. that has this in stock. Will you pick it up for me?" And yeah, we grabbed it and I mailed it out to him.
that's fucking
Uh,
sick, man.
yeah, it was cool. That like a whole wall of that store was all like fiction books, like not even like game books, but like the
That's
lore
fucking
novels
awesome.
and shit. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know shit about Warhammer either. No, I don't. Other than both, that's it, man. That is all I understand.
I mean, Warhammer is pretty simple, bro. Like, boom, big man, go boom. Like that's all you need to know. All the
Yeah,
other
maybe I'll
lore
get
stuff,
into it, man.
dude. We need to play Dawn of War. We need to play Dawn of War, especially the new remaster. You got
I
a
feel
PC
like
now.
I feel like every time you try to get me into something, about like 4 years later, I'll find it on my own and be like, "Damn, this shit fucking rules!" Like wrestling. Like I wanted to get into wrestling for so long, and then finally, like something just clicked about it, like a few months ago, and now that's like my is wrestling. Yeah, speaking of Finnish death metal madness, the only madness I think we should be talking about is Macho Madness. Dude,
Macho Man Randy Savage.
I got in trouble. I got talked to twice at my job. Noah can confirm he's in this group chat, but we have a work group chat, and I just posted like nonstop Macho Man quotes like all day long, and I got pulled aside, and they were like, "You need to stop." Using the work chat for this.
You need to stop spamming Macho Man Randy Savage quote.
Yeah, dude, all day, and there was like people trying to like talk about like coordinating client care stuff, and I'd make them really long too, you know. And
Fucking
I thought it was
obnoxious shit.
hilarious.
Like just the.
Yeah, just
That's
I've been
so
with this company
funny.
forever. They let me get away with so much, but yeah, apparently I crossed the line. It was just like all day long, not all day long, but it was multiple times a day. I would post like a huge block of Macho Man text.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I thought it was. My supervisors didn't, because both supervisors took me aside to talk to me about it. So
Well, we gotta know our limits. But speaking
yeah,
of limits, we're gonna get into a pretty sick band that I think we need to play. Lubricant.
yeah, underrated band for
A
sure.
fucking underrated band. Absolutely. We're gonna be playing a track off of well, Swallow This. What do you think of that record, Andrew?
I think that's their only one, isn't it?
I
Maybe they
think
had a few
they
demos.
had some demos. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get into Lubricant. So those of you that don't know Lubricant, you'll get a nice introduction because they really fucking they're awesome. A rather unique band as well, right, Andrew?
Yeah, I'd say all the Finnish bands are unique in their own ways. But yeah,
Yeah,
Lubricant, I don't know them quite as well as some of the other ones. I've definitely heard that record, and it's cool. I'm excited to revisit it right now for sure. But yeah, definitely like a band that like doesn't really get talked about that much.
no, absolutely not. They definitely get like skipped over for whatever fucking reason. But yeah, let's listen to Lubricant here. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up for the night, and maybe we can preview next week when we talk about some Japanese death metal. But here we go.
Sounds good.
You guys enjoy Lubricant.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and two-thirds chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning, if we used to go one-on-one, and then add 66 and two-thirds percent, I got 141 and two-thirds chance of winning at sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
You're going crazy too.
What a fucking weird song, bro. Like, strange, huh? Like legit,
It's acquired taste.
It's definitely an acquired taste, absolutely.
I hated that record when I first heard it. Hated it. I was like, God, this is a fucking garbage album. And then one of the guys that was in Coagulate was like, bro, that album fucking rules. What are you talking about? I was like, really? You like that shit? And he's like, go listen to it again. And I was like, all right, man, I trust you. I popped it on. I was like, man, that record actually fucking rules. Like, it took me a long time. It took me like, I don't know, more than 15 years to like come around to that record.
I mean, that happens. That happens with a lot of stuff. It takes time for people to appreciate stuff. But yeah, it's definitely unique, and I definitely can see like the musicianship in it. So I appreciate it.
The whole record is really cool. Spin the whole record and just like don't put it on the background. Like tune into it, and it's a lot of layers on that too. I mean, it is like more rock and roll themed, but there's a lot going on. Like I just noticed for the first time, there's a whole segment where he, like, you know, when you do that thing with the vocals where it sounds like you're talking through a phone.
Yeah.
Like he did that for a while. I never picked up on that before, and it's just a really interesting record. It's definitely, you know, I feel like we should do another episode on Finnish death metal. I mean, you know, because we're barely scratching the surface of what's out there.
It
is interesting.
Absolutely, dude.
And also there's, you know, we barely scratched some of the newer Finnish death metal. There's a great band that we won't get to today called Nerlich.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, of course. Dude, we need time for this stuff, dude. Like, there's a lot to unpack.
They're both great, but they're from like the 2010s, and there wasn't like a ton of. I feel like death metal was like starting to pick back up in the 2010s, and then the 2020s is when it really hit. But Nerlich, yeah, 2 albums. Nobody talks about them. They're really cool. Really great album art and logo and everything.
No, absolutely. There's a lot to talk about, and we just don't have time for it all. But I hope for those of you that don't know any Finnish death metal, or you're new to it, today was a good starting point for you, or introduction to it, or maybe you heard some new bands that you're not familiar with, or older bands that you're not familiar with, right? But that brings us to our time. All right, so next week we're going to be doing a Japanese death metal highlight with a nice segment dedicated to intestine ballism. So you guys can look forward to that. I have some cool stuff to share as well, pictures and stuff of when I saw them live. I met them and I talked to them. That'll coincide with the arrival of the intestine ballism vinyls that we just dropped. Shouts out again to everybody. Those sold out immediately. Yeah, we'll probably revisit that release. It seems like it's in high demand, so you know, you guys just gotta let us know and talk to us.
It's like what, 30 minutes, right? It sold out.
It was less. It was less than that.
That's crazy.
It was very fast. But we're gonna end with let's end with something sick. Let's end with. Let's not do. Let's do something a little different. Let's end with. Let's end with.
Mordicus. Mordicus is an interesting band, but you go ahead, pick whatever you want.
I was gonna say, let's end with something classic, something cool, something that fucking rules. Let's end with Candlemass. Alright? Let's end with Candlemass. You guys have a good night. We'll be back next Thursday, same time. So next week we'll have Japanese death metal highlight. You guys can enjoy the tunes until the stream ends. Anything you want to end with, Andrew?
No. Heavy metal will never die.
Absolutely fucking right. Until the end of time, we'll still fucking be here with you along, okay? Heavy metal worldwide, keep it alive. This is Surat Radio, over and out.
Sexy, I've got the looks that drives a girl wild. I've got the moves that really move 'em. I said chill, up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I make them hot. I make them shiver. Their knees get weak whenever I'm around. They see me walk. They hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. Just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Ain't your hard-eyed girls? Hands off the merchandise. I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks that drives a girl wild. I've got the moves that really move them. I said chill, up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I make them hot. I make them shiver. Their knees get weak whenever I'm around. They see me walk. They hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. Just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Ain't your hard-eyed girls? Hands off the merchandise.
I bind unto myself that so